Итак, всем привет. Игра запустилась, и я знаю по какой причине. Все-таки, скорее всего, по моим предположениям, игра не хочет запускаться, когда я пытаюсь запустить вместе с игрой мониторинг. Поэтому это не столь важно, но... То есть получается такая ситуация, что игра пытается запуститься. Я вижу игровую картинку, а уже программа, которая транслирует данную игру, показывает зависшуюся картинку и дальше никуда не двигается. Поэтому проблема, как видите, решилась. Вот я передвигаюсь, все видно. Поэтому извините, что сразу не получилось. Поэтому приветствую на канале Белопус Games и продолжаем уже нормально проходить эту игру. Все. Кто не видит предыдущие прохождения, и также напоминаю, что это мое первое прохождение, поэтому все нюансы и моменты я не знаю. Игра будет на английском языке с русскими субтитрами. Думаю, все будет понятно. Поехали. Думаю, слышно, видно. И сейчас у нас начнется сразу уже стрельбовой экшен. Поехали. Надеюсь, мы не сольем. Уворачиваемся и даем сразу деду пилюлей. Думаю, сразу возьмем наше ружье. Так, слышно игровой процесс, слышно меня. Качество нормальное, думаю, да. И пытаемся ехать. Это было прям... Так, и сразу забегая наперед, предлагаю немножко пошерстить по... Так, попробую здесь, я где-то видел, есть что-то интересное. О, отлично. На меня вообще похож. Я думаю, Стан Скотт подтвердит, блин. Наверное, мой какой-то далекий предок. Так, ну все, тут ничего нету, я думаю. Это служба поддержки. Да, это служба поддержки. Хочу наебениться. Поддерживаю.
I thought the Texas Rangers got hardened.
Yeah, that's what they want you to believe.
Какие-то
It was
завкаулочки.
holding a witch's tit and a brass
Дрова
bra
можем
that night
поколоть.
as I fought my way past his loyal compadres.
Ладно, идем дальше. О, я думаю, нам нужно сюда зайти.
To the very same saloon we're sitting in today. Look around and imagine this place painted in blood. Hardin was waiting for me.
Картишки. Что, опять дуэль? Да ёлки-палки.
Wait, I'm jumping the gun
Опа.
here. Let me back up and give you some background on this sumbitch. He deserves that much.
Он
Don't you think
передумал,
so,
короче.
Ben?
Идет обратно.
John Wesley Hardin was a
Чё,
killer.
блин? Что
By the
это за
end, he
сюжет?
confessed to taking the lives of 42 men. Fathers and husbands, brothers and sons, men with families who cared about them. He was a bona fide folk hero by
Коровки.
then, and had amassed a gang of armed miscreants and other assorted thugs. He and his men set up camp outside of town, and I was hoping Bob was among them.
Как думаете? О, блядь, я кого-то разбудил, блядь. Я в детстве доил корову когда-то у бабушки, пробовал. Я бы вам продемонстрировал, но некогда мне, надо идти дальше. Вообще, куда мне идти-то, елки? Так, а ну, стоп. Так, вот, есть возможность вот оно что. Вообще ни в кого не попал.
Most of them were wanted as well. I figured Harden was here somewhere, but to get to him, I'd have to get past his gun hands. And that was easier said than done, as most of them were as foolish and full of bravado as I was. I had to spill a lot of blood to find out Harden wasn't in that camp. He was carousing in town with his closest friends. Harden's boys apparently didn't want me to reach the Bull's Head. Some were hightailing it into town to inform their jefe of my unwelcome
прорисовочка
presence.
хорошая.
Yeah, you know you can't beat me.
Так, взять секрет. Подберем. Коровки. Бычки. Ой-ой-ой. У него попа. А, должно быть красным. Все понятно.
Tell Harden someone's coming for him. Stop that, some bitch!
Думаю, в палатке нас тут никто не найдет.
Let the boys know we got another law dog.
О, блин. Хотел проверить. Руками лучше не трогать. Так, непонятно откуда. Все понятно. Тут что у нас? Ничего. Так, куда нам дальше? Ага.
I wondered if Bob was among them. And I steeled myself for the fight ahead. For as good as I was, deep down I wondered if John Wesley wasn't just
Что,
a
надо
little
было
bit
спальник
better.
расстрелять? Что, вернулся? Так, куда нам? Сюда? Может, сюда не поднимается. Вообще этот персонаж ничего не может. Блин. Так, наверх, да? Нет? Так, что я не понял, я куда? Наверное, в обход куда-то. Ладно, идем так. Что, снова начинаем?
Before I could test my mettle against Hardin, however,
Ничего себе, красиво.
I would first need to dispatch his cadre of hired killers. Most of these degenerates were beyond redemption, but John Wesley might have been a different story.
Put some holes in them! Good goddamn!
I didn't learn until later that that night was in fact his birthday celebration.
Shoot him! Shoot him! There he is!
Так, патрона мне.
I think I already mentioned that I found Hardin in this very saloon.
Буду пособирать у людей. Так, наверное, надо опять сюда заходить, да?
Suffice it to say, nobody there was happy to see me.
He's out of here!
Так, я так понял, я прям возле кого-то стал. Мы возле него больше не стояли.
That's right! Run! Can't get a good shot at him!
Давай, иди сюда. Лучше мне сюда налей козлиной мочи. Так, патронов хватает.
In fact, I felt a certain hostility.
Только руки торчали. У меня там еще кто-то наверху. Ух, блядь, не в ту сторону, сука! Неужели опять сначала? Да не-не-не, не может быть. Бля, опять, да ёб твою мать. Это заебашили. Так, ничего, что все собрали. Сейчас все будет. Или не будет. Надо немножко хотя бы, наверное, в укрытие прятаться. Так, ну что-то не вроде идем неплохо.
Suffice it to say, nobody there was happy to see me.
Так, а патрончиков-то нету. У меня только 2 патрона, ну такое. Так, спешим просто. Я думаю, о, так есть, появилось. Кто не хотел оружие поиграться. Тут хотя бы можно накидать.
I was disappointed that neither Bob nor John Wesley were among the dead. But that was short-lived, as a moment later I was facing down the fastest gun in the West.
Ну наш это было опять.
I felt a bolt of
Я
adrenaline.
обожаю это.
Or maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him.
Ну да, что-то я тут,
No,
блин,
wait.
как-то очень
You
не
didn't hit me
раз...
then. I'm sure of it.
Что-то вообще с этим не рассчитал. Давай еще раз. Что-то, блядь, было такое, ёб твою мать. Что-то новенькое появилось, я ни хера не понял. Что-то он вообще даже не двигается. Да давай, блядь, сука! Блять, что такая-то хуйня, блять, получается? Что дёра, я не могу, блять, выдержать, оно все медленно, вот это пу. Ну, блять. Да, бля, опять криво, блядь. Да, блядь, хуйня. Да что за хуйня, блядь? Ёбаный рот, блядь.
I felt a bolt of adrenaline.
Я не могу понять.
Maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him.
Блядь, сука,
No,
ну
wait.
ебать.
You didn't hit me then. I'm sure of it.
Ну, это вам не игра в записи, где вам выбрали сразу лучшую дуэль и прошли. Это таки бывает, даже у супер игроков, блядь. Я того рот шатал, блядь. Сука. Оно ж, блядь, ты думаешь, что тут вот так просто? Сука, блядь! Куда-то вообще, блядь, ушла, блядь, эта ёбаная дрочня, блядь. Давай, ты уже, блядь, заебашь ты его, блядь.
That man was faster than grease lightning. But being inebriated as he was, he didn't count his shots. And now, he was at my mercy.
Ну, скорее
So he
всего.
didn't die?
No, I sent him to prison. Years later, after he was free, some restless Avenger took his life. Shot him in the back in a saloon just like this one. Anybody up for another beer? Ben? Thank you, darling. Yeah, some say revenge is a dish best served cold.
So whatever happened to that Bob guy you were after?
Personally, I'd like to hear some of your other adventures. Like, I don't know, did you ever go toe-to-toe with a red man?
Yes, I did, Ben. I remember once I was after this renegade Apache, Grey Wolf. Strangely enough, revenge was also his primary motivation. A bounty was put on Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains. Mountains so high they tickled the nether regions of heaven. Grey Wolf was a Chiricahua Apache medicine man who had led a war party in revenge for a massacre against his people. The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's sacred sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death. Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move.
Так, надо его, я так понял, заебашить.
He led a band of young Apache warriors who wanted retribution and were more than willing
Сейчас
to
этого
die for
лисенка
him.
захерячу. Я иду к тебе. Где ты там? Убежал, походу. Что, типа мосту? Ну тут другого варианта нету.
They saw me before I saw them.
Опять эти индейцы. Ой, не видно, блин, где он.
And it crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting had started, there was no backing down.
Блять, я испугался, честно говоря. Там дальше, да? О, одним выстрелом.
It was rugged country, the winter home of the Chiricahuas, and that's why they had retreated there. I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did. But then again, I got a lot of those.
Что тут, ружье нормально, да? Или взять два пистолета? Да, куда дальше-то, ё-моё?
Not at that moment, but I did find the entrance to their hideout.
Ля ты...
deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you went in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness. See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile wide, and I wasn't about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit, as they had torches on the walls.
How big was this cave?
Big as hell, Ben. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian War. They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
Блять, накинулись, блядь. Накинулись, бля, как на голодного, ёбаный рот. Блядь, я старался, пиздец. Ну как?
About engines.
A few years back, I was married to two Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
Oh, well, I pursued him into the Cave of Death.
Что-то про волка сказал.
I came upon this flooded grotto, and that's when I saw him. He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows, and I sensed he meant me no harm.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on me. As his story unfolded in my mind,
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul will have no rainbow, the eye had no tears.
he said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
The snakes will bite shadows of your past until a venom poisons your heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
I didn't quite get what he was saying, but there was definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me, though, and Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk. I swear I couldn't see any way out of this trap. But suddenly, one just appeared. Kind of like a miracle. I felt like I would be lost in that damn cave forever. Finally, I found myself back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice overlooking a thundering white-water river. To get where I was going required several leaps of faith, but no way in hell I was turning back. I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo-jumbo.
Shut up,
Mumbo-jumbo's
бля.
right. Are you making this all up as you go?
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened. There were dozens of Apache warriors aiming at me from on high.
Dozens.
Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of them.
At least 3 or 4.
Well, more than that, little lady.
А куда мне бежать-то, ёлки-палки? Они все правильно. О, бля, дело гомном запахло.
Steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me. And wouldn't you know it, that crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
What kind of trap?
Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches around.
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who are you kidding?
Да, блядь, я
Hey,
нихуя не
I
вижу
believe
из-за
you.
солнца.
Come on, tell us how it ended.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well,
Да,
I didn't
блядь, я не
take
пойму,
time to
где.
count them exactly, but there were a lot of
Да
them.
где они стреляют? Блядь, они не успевают рассмотреть, успокоиться, блядь. Сука, где ты еще, блядь? Да, блядь, ну я старался, не мог понять нихуя. И еще, вот еще. Сложно понять, когда вот это вот у меня уже последнее дыхание. Да бля, где? Где-то вот тут я вижу. Вот, наверное. Ладно, где-то еще. Где-то вот, бля. Я его увидел. А этого нет. Сука, где ты, тварь, блядь?
And in the end,
Ну,
a
я
path appeared
старался, я
before me that I
старался.
had not seen before. I followed it as I desperately needed to find out what Grey Wolf was trying to tell me. But it was like that son of a bitch disappeared into thin air.
Волка надо заебашить, он говорит.
Never did find him. And never did collect my goddamn bounty. Thank you, darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem might malleable, depending upon your point of view.
Like how those dime novels make you out to be something you're not?
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
Did they exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
Well, I was there in the flesh, boy, so I saw what happened firsthand. Those Daltons were lawmen once, before they all went bad, robbing banks and trains clear across the territory. Until Coffeeville, of course. I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of right?
I did my best, sir. We all did.
Небольшая рекламная пауза. Если вы будете в глобусе, покупайте розовую колбасу. Мы продолжаем. Я ходил себе водички.
It was early morning. One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob two banks at the same time. Two banks on the same damn street.
Вместе веселее.
Story was Bob Dalton's girl was always writing him about how he had no ambition. Well, you're nobody next to Jesse James, she'd say. Finally, the bastard took his brothers to Coffeeville just to shut her up. Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their property. Their first mistake was pulling a job in their own damn hometown.
You gotta think you. What's the wrong with
The brothers paid dearly for their stupidity, but everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently. First of all, it was high noon. A posse of U.S. deputy marshals were on the rooftop across the
Так, и
street.
снова я с братвой.
Get ready, boys. They're gonna make a move.
The lawmen have been tracking the Daltons for months. Now they finally had them dead to rights. Among them was a bounty hunter feared by many a lawbreaker.
Как говорится, вместе
The
легче.
marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
They'll give up eventually. You just gotta wait till something reaches out.
This bounty hunter knew that the brothers were far too proud to ever lay down their guns. He went in there alone to confront those criminals. One of the marshals shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Hey, where do you think you're going, dumbass? That rifle's mine.
He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank. Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't
Куда
expecting.
дальше? Ну, я бы ходил сейчас как дурачок.
From above. Fortunately, a water tower was right there. A moment later, he was climbing up a steep ladder, laughing at danger as he did. It was brave men like him who risked their lives to tame this wild country.
Я либо что-то не догоняю, либо это надо сделать вот так.
We've got company.
Heroic men like him, who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free. Like Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett, who died defending the Alamo.
Is that Silas Green? Son of a bitch!
You can run! Can't hide forever!
Еще какое акробатище.
That's right! Run!
Over there!
Silas Green!
What the hell? Blam! Blam! He came away victorious, taking down those thieving Daltons. His name is Silas Greaves. And when the dust finally settled, he was the last man standing.
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way it happened. It was early evening, not high noon. I was late to the party and Coffeyville was already up in arms.
Так, страшновато мне идти туда, там чувствую, сейчас будет. Ну, идем. Куда нам?
Daltons blew up a safe, and we're all set to hightail it out of there. Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies. I'd been tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless.
Boy, you are shit out of
Finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob two banks at the same time in the same town where everybody knew them, but they still had friends in Coffeyville.
Now you're in trouble. And you shit around corners?
Да, блять, с этими, блять, звуками, нахуй. Так, куда мы? Погнали, нахуй. Дальше. Сюда, дальше. Хорошо, куда теперь? Сюда. Блять, да заебешь. Да сука ты, блять, какого хуя? Блять, просто подключил зарядку, блять, к телефону. Понеслось, бля, смс-ки какие-то, что за хуйня? Ёбаный рот, бля.
And they were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons, which wasn't any surprise, because those two families have been feuding forever. And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths, pissing off the Heimhoffers, whose daughter recently married a Smith. Well, bullets were flying every which way as all the old feuds in Kansas caught fire all at once. There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in Coffeeville that day. But that's just the way life is sometimes. Shit.
Блять, не вздумай, нахуй. А где-то там кто-то палит. Не пойму где. Сука, блядь, где? Я вообще не мог понять где. Да, блядь, все лежало как раньше. Просто смотрю 3%. Вот так всегда телефон лежал, как всегда. Я всегда так стримил. Стрим вел, блядь. Подключаю, блядь, просто зарядку и понеслась. Бар-бар-бар-бар, блядь. Сука, аж в уши ебашит. СМС-ка от Водофона, блядь. Какая-то, блядь, еще там. Я, может, понимаю, что совпало, но... Так, короче, блядь, заебало меня все это, нахуй. Пукалки, блядь, ваши, нахуй. Давай, 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 давай. Вот, сука, сидит, блядь, там. Неплохо. Надо было так сразу сделать. Ой, на подкрадулях ко мне идет. Прям такие все. Надо хату обшмонать. Так, куда? Ага. Куда?
The Dalton boys knew I would never give up.
Ой, блядь, не вздумай опять.
Those Daltons weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least two of them to escape. The third brother stayed behind to plant me, just in case that trap of theirs didn't work.
О, бля. Что, утихло, не? Смотри, опасное дело, да?
It was Emmett, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down.
Что это за тектонические? А, босс типа.
He was determined to protect his brothers. I understood how he felt. Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long life.
Блять, охуенен прям. Я тоже молодца. Валим! Надо прятаться, прятаться. Тихо. Отдышались? Блять! Я не увидел куда, блять, сука! Сычара, блядь. Вот, блядь, тварь. Патроны есть. Так, не хватит. Бежим на... Думаю, еще раз мы должны... Фу.
But Emmett Dalton survived the robbery in Coffeyville. He's the only Dalton who did.
They say he was shot 23 times.
Well, Dwight, who do you think put all those damn holes in him? But I have to admit, that boy had grit.
Фу, продолжаем. Да, не. Есть смысл переносить на следующий день.
We'll get those suckers.
It took me a couple of days to track the Daltons down.
They can't get away with this.
Это
And in that
практически
time, a
за
whole
20
posse of
лет
local vigilantes
до
offered to lend a hand.
We'll track him to the ends of the earth.
They seemed as determined as me to find those outlaws. But as we headed into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
Так, куда нам? Да ты чё, издеваешься? Ты, блядь, шакал. Да, глянь ты, ёлки-палки. Ну, есть. Да подожди, ну ты глянь, ну какие сообщения, ты, блядь. А, это мои идут, а я думаю, блядь, что не мои. О, так что я буду мучиться? Наверное, надо было тихонько, но я старался тихо.
It was early fall, right? Beautiful time of year. At least you had the weather on your side.
Not by my recollection. It was
Я
damp
думаю, это
and
уже
foggy
конец.
as hell. It was tough to stay on a true course, so we kept an eye out for landmarks. It was autumn. The maple trees were in full color, red as blood.
Нихуя себе деревья растут.
The rains that year were torrential, so the whole area was flooded. The vigilantes had spread out wide, and pretty soon I couldn't see anybody.
Найти каких-то дятлов, блядь, надо.
Bury him in the swamp. Where they stand?
Except for some bitches ahead of me wanted to do me harm. So I had to face them alone. I wondered why my compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
Блядь, ты что, издеваешься, на? Блядь, и патронов нет. Может, сюда нам?
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet, but I did have the questionable pleasure of meeting a few of their friends.
Come on! Так я очки зарабатываю.
The boys had established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause.
А, босс. Полубосс. Был какой-то.
Point being, I was under serious attack. And my reinforcements was nowhere to be seen.
Терминаторы.
Bury him in the swamp.
Somebody kill him! What just happened?
But luckily, a barn materialized as if right before my
Broccoli.
eyes. I scrambled up top to get a better view. But just ended up falling inside.
So, how did you get out?
The barn doors was open. About right then, I saw some suspicious characters running through the bushes. Of course, I followed them. But that goddamn swamp was like a goddamn maze, and pretty soon I had no goddamn idea where I was.
Ох, сейчас будет веселуха.
Steve? So I just started walking, and pretty soon...
Oh,
Где он спит, блин? Пробраться, только куда пробраться? Ну так хорошо, наверное, отработал смену и отдыхал. Стрельни мне.
Steve? Steve?
huh? Oh, no, I'm listening.
Indians surrounded me from all sides.
They were Indians.
No. I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention. Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
That's right. See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
No, I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
So, where was I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other.
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son bitch!
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet. But I did find a few of their cousins. You cans breed like rabbits.
Ну, тут было такое что-то.
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son bitch!
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet. But I did find a few of their cousins.
Блять. Еще и по воде нельзя быстро бежать, блин.
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son bitch!
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet. But I did find a few of their cousins.
Ну, блин, я не могу ничего сообразить, что тут... Где его даже запрятаться, блядь? Такая щось, блядь.
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son bitch!
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet. But I did find a few of their cousins.
Да ё, блядь, турлюсю, блядь.
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son bitch!
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet. But I did find a few of their cousins. You Kansans breed like rabbits. More Smiths or Heimhoffers or who knows what. But hell, what's more important than family?
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son bitch!
Блядь, я не успеваю, но там мало что все зеленистость, блядь. Хер увидишь, откуда они палят.
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son bitch!
Блядь, сука, с этими патронами, блядь. Ну вот тебе и сконцентрировался, блядь, нахуй.
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son bitch!
Уж надолго этой херни. Вот и тут, где он стоит. Блядь. Они везде палят, в кущах, бурьянах, блядь.
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son bitch!
И тут где-то еще. Сука, ну пиздец. Ну я посмотрю, как ты пройдешь. Вот, блядь, давай эту, блядь.
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son bitch! Somebody kill that son bitch!
But hell, what's more important than family? I'll bet Ben knows what I'm talking about.
Shoot him in the head!
О, веселуха. А где ты, блядь? Хера не пойму. Жестко, жестко, блядь. Так, нам дальше. Бегут. Какой-то
Those Dalton boys are out there somewhere, standing together against anyone who would threaten them.
Pitbull boss. Так, куда ж мы дальше? В каком направлении идти? Может, покажет эта хрень. Уже эти болота заколебали. Ага.
A goddamn steamboat.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Yeah, Steve, but this wasn't much more than a wreck, really.
But how'd a damn steamboat end up in the swamps? Guess it floated off during the flood of '89.
Now, was it a stern wheeler or a side wheeler?
What? Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board. It was then that a fusillade of bullets come raining down from on high, and those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found. But among those men that were shooting, I thought I saw some familiar faces.
Ну это какой-то бред, конечно. Через доску, блядь, какую-то. Так, надо тут подумать, как же нам... Два. Три. 4. Отлично. Неплохо. Обманул его.
There the Daltons were waiting on me.
Еще и не зарядился, был молодец.
Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben. I set out to do something. I do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature. Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
Мотор, надо его запустить. Олег, будем запускать двигатель. Все, я начинаю крутить. Пур-пур-пур-пур-пур-пур.
Right about then, much to my relief, the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons. I finally had them, after months of dogged pursuit. But it turned out that they had me.
Take him out! I'm sending you to
Говорил,
hell!
блядь.
The Daltons had played me like a
Tough after
fiddle.
all, is it?
Apparently, the vigilantes were on their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
Well, yeah, but I was in a
Did you hear
fight.
about that ship that's gonna launch next year? Largest one in the world.
We're talking about the Titanic. If you ask me, it's too blessed big. I don't think it'll even float.
So anyway,
Don't be stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that the Titanic is unsinkable.
oh God,
But getting back to that steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Greaves?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy.
Запустили, блядь, на свою
Somehow I
голову, всё
managed to
заболело.
finally disembark. I was coughing up smoke and pretty damn pissed. I was done playing games with those boys. It was time to settle this once and for all.
Вот, смотри, покраснело. Это еще я так и не понял, где полят.
About to come at me one at a time. They were in this together. Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Далее тянусь, а сейчас оттянемся, чувствую, очень. Да, блядь, надо, наверное, того ёбнуть вначале, да? Вот это, блин, конечно. Давай на вот этого будем сконцентрироваться, потому что... Ну слушай, тут вообще даже не знаю, как их, блядь, застрелить, чуть двоих. Я вообще не знаю, что тут надо сделать.
They got it wrong.
Ну, в общем, как-то
sad end for those two. If they'd only known that Emmett was still alive despite his wounds. Paroled 14 years later, he moved to California and sold real estate and lived off the legend of that fateful day. And the tragic death of his two brothers. My own brothers died tragically as well, truth be told. It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch. I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
You were part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down.
Oh, my
Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the train to stop. Well, I assumed the Wild Bunch was likely in the still intact part of the train high above. I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers. I found the device they used to blow the tracks, so I knew I was headed in the right direction.
My ears are still ringing from blowing up that bridge.
What'd you say? I can't hear a goddamn thing.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them. From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would need to get my ass out of there. Jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados. Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
God damn him! I'll kill you!
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
Так, что-то я не понял. Не понял. Вообще непонятно, как это получилось. Двоих захоронили. Какой-то рейнджер. Блин, еще патронов не. Бред. Не подготовлен.
As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
You murderous bastard!
Я даже не знаю, как мне дальше идти, куда.
Times it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
Yeah, you know you can't beat
О, ну я не хотел. А может и хотел, неплохо получилось.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a hand.
You mean like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Фу, блядь, поисчезали.
Who the hell is that? Goddamn you! Cover! Retreat! Retreat! He's killing everybody!
You ain't seen the likes of
Don't kill us all! You're really pissing me off! Run!
I'm gonna cut you in two. Damn, so are you.
Вот так вот. Три, два, один.
My guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they? Only a few stragglers were left. I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail. once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nose Curry.
Who was he?
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that.
Да, бля, опять. Ну, тоже неплохо.
On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America.
Хорош кадр.
They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
Так, ну я думаю еще играть и играть, поэтому думаю хватит на сегодня. Я думал, что сюжет скоро закончится, но, наверное, мы его перенесем на завтра.
I tried to find Bob Bryant, but it was as if he'd disappeared. Sometime later, I heard the Wild Bunch was back together. Kid Curry escaped from jail, and now he was running the whole shebang. So I took to their trail, because I was still in pursuit of my brother's killer and hoped that he was back with him.
Вот такая сегодня была у нас игра. Жесткая, насыщенная. С дуэлями. И до сих пор не законченная. Поэтому закончим, думаю, в следующем уже стриме. Ну, на сегодня всем спасибо. До новых встреч. Ждите мои также новых стримов, будут также новые игры. Ну, на данном этапе наша задача пройти эту классную игру. Все, спасибо всем и пока.